When you think of science, you might imagine a sterile lab, a whiteboard full of equations, or someone peering through a microscope. But science, especially anthropology, is much more than that. It's messy, creative, dynamic, and human. You've probably seen this version of the scientific method before. Observe something, come up with a hypothesis, make a prediction, test it, and see what happens. Clean, simple, linear. That model is useful for understanding the basics, but it doesn't capture the real-world complexity of how science actually works, especially in anthropology. In real life, science looks more like this. It's not always linear. It's a cycle of exploration, discovery, backtracking, questioning, and collaboration. Anthropologists might start with a question sparked by a student, a news article, or a conversation in the field. Before any testing happens, they spend time reviewing existing research, asking new questions, even talking over coffee with colleagues. And sometimes, discovery is entirely accidental. Things like a melted chocolate bar led to the microwave. A bath inspired the law of buoyancy. Science loves surprises. But scientists don't just share their ideas. They submit their work to careful evaluation by other experts in something called scholarly peer review. This process is essential because it holds researchers accountable, ensures studies are conducted responsibly, and helps refine our understanding so we get closer to the best explanations. To facilitate that vital collaboration, science has a standardized way of describing ideas or observations, which centers around three concepts: hypothesis, theory, and law. In science, a hypothesis is an explanation of observed facts. And importantly, a hypothesis is testable. For example, a hypothesis could be something like, all dogs will eat unattended cheese. A theory, on the other hand, like evolutionary theory, is broader. It explains patterns or relationships between phenomena and is backed by lots of evidence. We use theories to understand new observations. For example, in anthropology, the theory of diffusionism suggests that cultural traits and ideas spread from a central point of origin. So diffusionism would help us understand things like how pottery styles developed in the ancient world and spread. A scientific law is a predictive statement, often mathematical, like Newton's laws. But it doesn't explain why something happens. Laws are always predictions about what will happen given certain conditions. Going back to Newton, an object in motion remains in motion unless acted on by external force, lets us predict that a bowling ball will slow down if a force like friction is present. But science is just one way of knowing. Anthropologists also recognize that religion, culture, and indigenous knowledge systems offer different but valuable perspectives on the world. Anthropologists conduct research using cultural relativism, the practice of suspending judgment and seeking to understand another culture on its own terms, sympathetically enough so that the culture appears to be a coherent and meaningful design for living. Science is evidence-based and testable. Belief is based on faith and trust. Anthropology doesn't ignore belief systems. It studies them to understand how humans make sense of the world. So no, science isn't just a set of steps in a lab. It's a social, collaborative, and ever-evolving process. As anthropologists, we use science to ask questions about our species, our origins, and our place in the world, while respecting the many ways humans understand reality.